We knew that this was going to be an incredible year for African American quarterbacks. And what we're just seeing is the result, the culmination of all of the effort throughout the season, the training camp, the preseason. And now you have this group that is representing the AFC, every one of the quarterback slots. And I really wasn't surprised. I'll be honest with you, Jeremy, I would have been surprised if that wasn't the breakdown.
Would you have been more gratified to see Dak Prescott? Many are saying he's the biggest snub of all the Pro Bowl players who were not, all the players who were not named to the rosters, I should say. Yeah,
Jeremy, I think there's definitely an argument to be made that Dak Prescott should be on this team. Now, people look at Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers' team has a much better record. But when you look at the advanced metrics, when you look at things at yards, granted, Aaron Rodgers having a great year, very few interceptions in relation to touchdown passes. But you can make a very strong, credible argument, I think, to have Dak Prescott on this team.
And when you're talking about the year of the black quarterback, when you're talking about this culmination, as you put it, of so many different factors, it's not coincidence. It's part of a trend. But where does it all start? How did we get to this point now in 2019 when we weren't here 10 years ago, 40 years after the first black quarterbacks in the NFL?
Yeah, Jeremy, I think it's very interesting. A lot of people will point to the Michael Vick draft in 2001 and say that when Michael Vick was taken #1 overall, first African-American to be taken in that spot, that was the beginning. But other people point to 1999 when 3 African-American quarterbacks were taken in the first round, Donovan McNabb, Akili Smith, and Dante Culpepper. And they say, hey, look, that really signaled that the league was shifting its thinking in terms of what these guys could do ultimately for a franchise. So, I mean, there's that debate, but a lot of people will tell you 1999 is really our jumping off point.
What does this news, the 4 out of 6, and the arguments about whether Prescott should be on the roster or not, say about changing perceptions about black quarterbacks, perceptions that, after all, for so long held back black quarterbacks?
Yeah, Jeremy, and that's the thing. It's the perception. It's what do we think of these players? And as the NFL commemorates its 100th season, it's not a coincidence that when you have a roster loaded with guys who are African-American quarterbacks, it's really about showing that, okay, the league now believes it's not just that these guys have physical tools, but they have the leadership, they have the heart, they have the ability to lead franchises. And I think that's such a significant thing. We've had black quarterbacks for many years. But what we're talking about is guys who are stars, who are going to get these $100, $200 million contracts in the case of Patrick Mahomes, and can be franchise players that organizations build around. So we talk about perception. The perception now is, look, we better go get one of these guys who can do these things because they can lead us to great things.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.